Hello, welcome to this week's vlog. The time is 7:20 and it's Monday, the day that last week's vlog went live. It's only been live for about, I don't know, an hour or two. Engagement's quite slow on it, just because I've uploaded it on a Monday evening and I uploaded it at a time that I think lots of people are kind of still at work or leaving work. Anyway, that doesn't bother me. But I've just been reading some of the comments that have been coming through and they've made me feel quite teary, if I'm honest. There was a section in last week's vlog, literally like a tiny little 2-minute chatty section where I'm making a cup of tea, just reflecting on like the way I was feeling the day prior. And I think I wasn't really thinking about what I was talking about. It was just kind of like a stream of consciousness and I was just saying how I'd been feeling. And I touched on just kind of like my mental health, basically how my mental health had been that day. And just some of the comments that people have left have been so lovely. Sometimes I'll insert things into videos and just don't even think that people will notice them or anything like that, or I don't really think about it. And then actually it resonates with loads of people and it just makes me feel quite emotional really, because I think I don't know, like I have friends who I could talk to about this kind of stuff, but I have to admit I haven't really come across, I haven't got many people that are close to me that have, I guess, experiences with some of the things that I've experienced. So it can feel a little bit difficult sometimes to be quite open about things like agoraphobia, because it's quite hard to explain like what it is I'm feeling and what triggers it and why I'm feeling like that. Because I think a lot of people are just like, oh, agoraphobia, that's just a fear of like leaving the house. And it's like, well, yeah, but it also, there's so much more that's kind of like tangled up into it. Sorry, the light is really, really bad because I've got barely any lights on in here. So it's something I find really difficult to kind of just talk about quite candidly to people. So in that small little clip where I just sort of like was talking about it, I wasn't thinking that I was talking to a vlog. I literally felt like I was talking to an imaginary friend or something. So yeah, thank you to just anyone that's kind of left a comment, because oh God, I feel really like emotional. I struggled last week and it just caught me by surprise because I feel like I've been kind of like had my head above water for so long, and then just last week it just felt like I was drowning. Like I felt so suffocated last week. So yeah, I just want to say thank you, because I think it takes a lot to like comment on someone's video saying those things, and I get it. Like it can feel like it's, you know, it's so easy to just watch a video. So any comment I really appreciate, because I know that it takes time to engage in someone's content in that way. God, sorry, I feel really like emotional. It probably doesn't help that I'm a little bit hormonal this week as well. But yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to anyone that has ever left a comment in relation to sort of like mental health and the ways in which maybe I've helped you, whether it's just like a small fleeting comment that I've made, or, you know, where I've gone into in depth about things, or maybe I haven't even done it intentionally, because it's so lovely to receive those comments from people, not in a way to like boost my ego, but in a way that it's like, oh God, there's so many of you out there who are also feel like you're drowning, basically. So yeah, what an emotional intro for this week's vlog. I'm going to stop now. I'm back. I've pulled myself together a little bit. I'm going to go have a bath because I feel like in the evening... Sorry, why am I sat like this? I'm going to put a pen underneath my camera to lift it up. I'm going to have myself a bath because sometimes in the evening I feel like just simply having a really indulgent, luxurious bath is just feels so good. And I'm going to finish watching Maid, which probably isn't the best thing to do when I'm feeling a little bit emotional and hormonal. I watched the episode. If you haven't watched it, it's a programme on Netflix with Andy McDowell and Andy McDowell's daughter in it. It's absolutely incredible. I just watched the episode where she had her daughter's birthday party and really had to stop myself from bawling my eyes out. So I'm fully anticipating an evening of absolutely bawling my eyes out watching Maid, basically. Well, hello, here I am in the exact same position that you just saw me in. The difference is it's now 2 weeks later and I have not vlogged a single morsel of the previous 2 weeks. So really living up to my self-proclaimed title of the Queen of Inconsistency. But after that clip that you will have just seen, that quite teary clip that I was in two minds about including actually, because I didn't know if it was actually just kind of cringe and a little bit embarrassing, but I decided to keep it in because that is the reality of how I was feeling at the time. And actually the days after that I felt quite low and I couldn't really get myself out of it. I think a lot of that was made worse with just how dark it was. The mornings were so dark. Just that all of a sudden like real shift in weather, like it just seems like it's happened really quickly overnight, and it just really caught me off guard and made me feel quite down. But now that the clocks have changed, the mornings are obviously a lot brighter and I feel a lot better now. So that happened. I also got ill. I feel like I kind of burnt out. I had committed myself to too many social things, too many work things, and yeah, I got ill. And it wasn't COVID, it was a cold that just didn't know whether it was coming or going. I feel like everyone's getting a cold at the moment, but yeah, it took me out for about 5 days. I just did not feel good at all. Had some other family bits as well. So there was several things happened, and then before I knew it, 2 weeks had passed and I hadn't vlogged anything. So hello, welcome to the vlog. This week is going to be a bit of a funny one. I'm not really sure how it's going to pan out because it's going to be a very sort of blogger, influencer heavy type of week. It's not going to be average. It's not going to be the average week. It's going to be very far removed from reality. And what I mean by that is I'm going to like events and a press trip. So I'm not sure how much of it I will document or how heavy I will document it, because I know showing a lot of these things can leave a bit of a bad taste in people's mouths, and I totally get why, because it's just feels like you're rubbing in a bit, and it's not really relevant. I don't feel like it's particularly engaging. So just to kind of give context, tonight I'm going to a Christmas lights switch on with Chanel Beauty, and then I'm going on a press trip with Maison Margiela Fragrances, which is part of, because I'm working with them on a campaign to create some content surrounding their new fragrance. So this trip is part of that for me to create content. And I don't go on a lot of press trips, I have to be honest. The reason I don't go on them is because of where I live, it actually becomes quite difficult for me to kind of travel to places just for one night or just for a day, which is what this Margiela one is. And also a lot of the time these press trips are they're not very diverse, and I'm not interested in kind of like being involved in those kinds of trips. However, with Margiela, I know that they're going to invite an awesome group of people and it'll be really interesting. And then what else is there? Oh, I then got another full day in London going to press days. So yeah, it's that kind of week that's just, it's all part of the job. You just have these weeks where there's lots of kind of schmoozing and nice things happening, but to vlog that is, yeah, it's a bit of a funny one. So I'll try and take you along as much as I can, and in a way that I think might seem interesting. Who knows? So yeah, that is where I'm at. So let's see how the week goes. Hello. I think the mess on the bed really illustrates how I'm feeling and how the past hour has been. Just a small meltdown trying to figure out what to wear for this dinner, and just decided to pull out most of my wardrobe, which I know many of you'll be familiar with this. It just happens, you kind of forget how to get dressed, which is ironic really, because I've just posted a video that's what I would wear for. So I do have the capability to think of outfits, but yeah, something just went wrong this afternoon. And I started off with this outfit at the start of the meltdown, but then there was a voice inside my head that was like, no, try on 50 other outfits that don't work, and then just come back to this one. So it was a real waste of an hour. Anyway, the dinner's quite early, and I've got to get a train, so I'm going to be sat down for quite a while. So I didn't want something overly fancy, but obviously wanted to feel like I'd made an effort. I've got a COS blazer on. This is quite old actually, I think maybe like well, not quite old, but you know, it's previous season, but it's one of those things that COS do pretty much every year, all year round. A Uniqlo men's shirt, very oversized. I quite like how the sleeves are coming out the ends of the blazer. The Row Banana bag, which you've all seen many times before. House of Dagmar trousers, which you've all seen many times before as well. These trousers are actually coming back in stock this season. There's like a coming soon section on the House of Dagmar website, and these trousers are on there. They're also available via Essence, so if you are in Canada or the US, Essence might be a great place to shop House of Dagmar through. They are quite expensive trousers though, so I am looking on the internet regularly to try and find cheaper alternatives. Philippa K have a couple of pairs that are quite similar, but they're still sort of in the sort of between the £100 to £200 mark. I'm trying to find something that's like 100 and under. Arket does have a pair that's similar, but the shape's not quite right, and I know Arket isn't, I know their shipping is quite limited, like where they ship to is quite limited, so lots of you can't actually shop Arket. Although some Arket pieces are now available through Zalando, but not many. Anyway, that's tonight's look. I will probably put a trench coat over the top, or a black coat maybe. The time is 2:15. I've literally just got myself into bed. I am pooped. To say I'm tired actually is probably a bit of an understatement. I feel like I'm overtired now. I'm just going to put the Calm app on. My favourite sound at the moment is Majestic Valley. It's kind of like a nice mix of water and kind of like bugs and birds. Normally I like rain, but I've just mixed it up a little bit recently. Yeah, I'm so annoyed I missed my train. Literally missed it by 30 seconds, all because I was just too busy chatting away to a friend on the tube and completely missed the stop where I was meant to get off. So yeah, wasn't the end of the world, because obviously there was another train, but yeah, just a very late night. So I'll speak to you all. It was a lovely evening though. Not to kind of discredit the actual evening. A lovely evening, just very tired. Anyway, I'll speak to you all when I'm feeling a little bit more awake and sprightly tomorrow. It's 10:30 a.m. and I'm still in my dressing gown. Oh, I just had a nap on the sofa. I woke up at 8:30 and then, I have not, oh God, that's gross. I didn't shake that. Ew, ew, ew. Yeah, I woke up, went and sat on the sofa, and I was like, I think I'm going to keep sleeping. I don't know, like, I can't shake. She says, shaking. I can't seem to just shake the last of whatever this kind of like, that doesn't look like the right colour. Oh my God. Okay, I'm just going to do it. brand new one. So I think it just needed a very excessive shake. Anyway, yeah, I can't shake just like the last of whatever this sort of head cold is. Like I'm not coughing anymore, I'm not like snotty or anything like that, but every morning I'm still waking up and I'm just not feeling 100%. That oat milk is such a weird colour. Well, not weird, but it's really kind of like yellowy. I mean, it's not like normal milk, is it? So it doesn't really go sour. Ugh, I really don't want to make a matcha and then it turns out that it tastes weird. Oh no, that's fine. Oh, I know why it is. It's because it's not the barista edition. That's why, maybe. Got a different one, got a different colour this time. So yeah, feel very lazy this morning, but I needed it. I just feel like I'm so low energy at the moment because I can't shift whatever I've got. Like, I'm just repeating myself at this point. Right, I'm feeling a bit more refreshed now with my eye mask. I'm all clean, I've washed my hair, just been to Sainsbury's to just get some train snacks. I've got to get a train later this evening, and then I've got to get a train first thing tomorrow morning. That's a lot of train journeying, and I find that train snacks are an essential part of a long train journey, really. And I always just find like the trolley on the train, the snacks aren't that great, so I'll do a little haul. I'll do a supermarket haul, shall I? Hippies chickpea puff snacks. They're sort of healthy what's-its. I like these because of the flavour. It's very subtle. And yeah, I guess I buy into the marketing with things like these quite easily, actually. The correct oat milk, because that blue one this morning it wasn't right. It was not right. Cashew nuts, my favourite nut. Pretty much always will have a bag of cashew nuts on me. Deliciously Ella peanut butter oat bars. These are so expensive. I don't buy them very regularly because you literally only get 3. They're essentially just like a very fancy flapjack, pretty much. But a nice treat for the train. Some avocados because I'm gonna have a bagel with avocado and egg for lunch. I never have bagels, but I just had a real craving for a bagel. And then some fruit. Take some fruit with me on the train. And then, I mean, this is riveting stuff, isn't it, really? The eggs for my bagel. And some hot sauce, because my hot sauce of choice is normally Cholula, you know, the one that has the wooden lid, screw lid, and it has a picture of a woman on the front. But I'm all out, I think. Yes, I'm all out, and Sainsbury's did not have Cholula. So I'm going to try Leon chili ketchup, and hopefully that will kind of be a good replacement for it. That was my supermarket haul. again. Signing off the day, simply because I don't think the clips previously will have much context to them. So I kind of just, I guess, wanted to try and give a bit of context to it all. I didn't film much of the day because I just don't think those sorts of like blogger / influencer trips are that kind of interesting for people to see, or kind of that relevant to show in depth. The place we went to was absolutely incredible. It was this huge Georgian, I think it was a Georgian house that has been restored. It would make an absolutely stunning wedding venue. It's also the kind of place that has huge grounds with a farm, so everything is kind of like farm to table in their restaurant, in their cafe and stuff. Very, very fancy. But it was lovely, and I kind of just wanted to try and capture some of the lovely little bits, like the pockets of nice light and stuff, just to kind of, I guess, set the scene, but I didn't want to hugely document it. And it was actually quite a nice day because they invited a really interesting group of people, like a really diverse group of people, and it was lovely to meet some faces that I've kind of followed online for ages but have never met IRL, so that was lovely. Kudos to Marjella for doing that. Anyway, my situation right now I think is much more interesting and relevant. I'm not in my bed, I'm in a hotel because I've got some bits to do in London tomorrow. I've just had a pizza because I just had a massive craving for a pizza, and I knew there was a Franco Manca around the corner, so I was like, I'm going to have a pizza in bed. I've now got a cup of tea. I'm about to eat some Victoria sponge cake, and I have just had the most wholesome evening watching Sky Arts. So I started with Landscape Artist of the Year, then Portrait Artist of the Year, then Celebrity Portrait Artist of the Year. Extremely relaxing television, even if you're not into painting. I just think it is a very, very calming programme to watch. I'm actually staying in a hotel that only opened a week ago. I don't know if you could really call it a hotel though. It's called Buckle Street Studios, and it's owned by the Lock Hotel Group, which some of you might be familiar with. They have Lehman Lock here in London. They've also got one on Canary Wharf, I think. The Whitworth in Manchester, and what's the other one? There's one in Edinburgh, and I should know the name because I've stayed there twice. And I really like the Lock Group because I think they're quite an affordable hotel, and you get a really nice finish, a lovely interior for the price. They normally kind of vary between like £80 to £150 a night, depending on the room you pick, obviously the hotel you pick, and how far in advance you book. But the new one that they've just opened is being marketed as a place to stay if you are spending more time out of your room than in. So it's obviously great in this situation where I just want somewhere really nice to sleep, and because I'm going to be leaving kind of early-ish tomorrow morning. So the rooms are quite compact. If you've stayed in a Lock hotel before, you know you get a kitchen and all that kind of stuff. You don't get that here. You get all the kind of basic amenities that you need, but you don't get the novelty of the kitchen. And you know how sometimes like you get a yoga mat in the Lock hotels and just some other bits. You don't really get all those kind of nice frills. But it's still great, honestly. I think I got this for £86 for the night. I'll show you in the morning because the interior is lovely. But I just thought I'd give it a little bit of a shout out because I think it can be difficult to find hotels in London kind of around the £100 or under mark that are still quite nice. And this definitely fits the bill, I think. If you are looking for somewhere to stay in London where you literally just want somewhere nice to sleep because you know you're going to be out most of the day, I think this is a real winner. Anyway, I, in true Brittany fashion, have rambled on just about nothing for almost 5 minutes. Okay, unfortunately my plan to show you the room this morning has failed because as you can see, the light is, it still looks like it's nighttime pretty much, doesn't it? My room's on the second floor and it's not on the street side, it's facing, like directly facing another high-rise building. So I'm getting virtually no light. I'm literally like as close to the window as I can get to try and, like, this morning when I was doing my makeup, I was literally just like, so yeah, I'll maybe insert a picture of what the room looks like in lovely daylight. Still really rate the hotel, but I think if you're someone who likes a lot of light in your room, then maybe request a room that is on a higher floor or street side, because I think if you were street side, you might get a little bit more light, but yeah. It's a lovely room nonetheless. Right, I'm all ready to go, so I'm going to get on with my day.
That's my radio. And then this is the way they perfume. So they have their perfumes, their home scents.
It seems like the people shop more from there than from the TV.
Either the front-facing camera is extremely flattering, or I actually look this bad in the morning. I just rolled my ankle good and proper, so I'm going to take this opportunity to just do a little humble brag to say that after, I'd say, 6 weeks of not really running consistently, I, out of nowhere, just had energy at 6:15 this morning to get out of bed and go for a run. I don't know where it came from. In the kind of time frame of running, 6 weeks. I'm going to take this part out. Is this the right way? Yeah. 6 weeks doesn't seem like long, but in the time frame of running, it is quite long. You can quickly lose your stamina and your kind of endurance. I'm 5k in, kind of hit the halfway mark, and now 5k back, so 10k after not really doing anything for 6 weeks. I think I deserve a pat on the back, and I deserve to do the humble brag. Yeah, it was really nice to get out this morning. I went to my favourite lake, because I have a favourite lake. This lake is the lake that's at the university, and it's my happy place. And I know that sounds probably a bit cringe, but it really is. There's something about it that, it's not equal to other lakes. There's something about it that is different, and every time I come here, there's almost like this kind of aura that I can feel, which sounds very unlike me. I'm not the kind of person that kind of believes in anything like that, but there's a feeling I get whenever I'm here that makes me feel so relaxed and just at peace. Oh, hi horsey. So it was so lovely to come here just as the sun was rising and the sky was all sort of pink. Hiya! Hello! Oh, hello! What a treat! You're beautiful, aren't you? I can't stop. I've got to get back. I'm sorry. I've got to get back and get on with my day. It was lovely to see you. Hey, I'll come back another day and spend some more time with you. Oh, complete lost my train of thought. Yeah, the lake, there's something about it that makes me feel really happy. No matter how quiet or busy it is, what time of day, it is a special lake that I just love coming to. So that was really nice. What else can I say whilst I'm kind of trying to walk off my rolled ankle? I've got quite a busy day today. Just got lots of things to get done. Tomorrow is the wedding, the November wedding, which, do you know what? I think I'm just going to wear that Cecily Barnson dress, the one that I wore to the wedding in the summer, but just kind of maybe switch out the shoes, add a blazer or something, or maybe like a cardigan, I'm not sure. But I was really getting in quite a tiz during the week trying to look for something to wear that basically wasn't black, because Dean was like, oh, it'd be nice if you didn't wear black. But then to me it just felt like such a waste to be buying something new, because that's always the thing with weddings. You feel this pressure to buy something new, don't you? So I'm just going to wear the Cecily Barnson dress, and I know some people will think, oh, black, you're wearing that dress again. But I love it. It's such a beautiful dress, and it's not the type of wedding where black isn't allowed, so it's fine. But yeah, I want to get this vlog edited. I then also need to pack, because I'm going away on Sunday night. I'm going to Paris for work, which would be a nice thing to vlog. I might do like not like a sort of travelly vlog because I'm literally there for one night, but just a sort of 24 hours in Paris, you know, just something that's like a nice visual video with some music or something. But I'll tell you all about that a bit more when I get there on Sunday. And then just other general bits of admin that need to be done before I go away, basically. So nothing that fun. So I think actually this vlog will end today, and I'll end with a book chat. Anyway, I'm gonna go. 5 minutes of just my absolute drivel. Honestly, I can't believe people actually view this. Okay, I just tried to run after rolling my ankle. No, I've rolled it quite badly, which is a great start to my triumphant return to running this morning. So, frustratingly, I'm still quite far from home. I'm like still 5 kilometres away. So, I'm going to scooter my way back because I can't. It's going to take me so long to walk, and I can't risk running on it because I can feel it's not right. So yeah, I'm going to scooter back. Okay, the time has come for, let me just gather them up, the big book update. I'm going to try and make it quick, I promise, because there are a lot of books here, so I won't go into like huge amounts of depth about them all, but I will try and, you know, give a good summary of them. Surprisingly, book chat and kind of like book updates is something that a lot of people request. And I say surprisingly because I'm not particularly intellectual, especially when it comes to talking about books. I literally have no idea how to articulate my feelings about books. And sometimes when I listen to people talk about books, I feel like I can't fully understand what people are saying, just because I'm not really used to that kind of lingo, you know, I'm not in the world of books, but I enjoy reading books. So maybe that's why people like it, because I keep it quite simple. Anyway, I am going to start with Piranesi. Just finished this last weekend, I think it was. Like, first of all, what on earth did I just read? I can't talk about this book without completely just giving it all away. It was nothing like I've ever read before. I can't even fathom like how Susanna Clarke like even conjured this up in her mind. She must have the most incredible imagination. I really didn't know what to expect with this. I went in completely blind. I didn't read anything about the book. I just heard people saying it's really good. All I read was the back, which doesn't give much away. And yeah, I'm quite glad actually in hindsight that I went in with absolutely no preconceptions about the book whatsoever, because it means that my kind of experience wasn't skewed by that. I featured it on Instagram after I finished reading it, and a few people did message me saying that they had to put it down because they just couldn't get past the start. The start is quite confusing. I'd say maybe for the first 20, maybe even 30 pages, it is quite confusing. I was quite lost, and I was a bit worried that I'd picked up a book that really wasn't for me. However, something just clicks. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, I'm ready. And I was just enthralled by it. I will say to anyone who's struggling with the beginning, because it's hard to kind of envision what she's trying to describe. It's this world that you can't, like, well, I personally just couldn't envision it. And then I started to think of it as like a sort of kind of MC Escher type world. Not as topsy-turvy, nothing's upside down, but there's lots and lots of endless rooms, lots of staircases and levels. And then once I'd kind of got that image in my head, I found I really enjoyed the story. That's what I'm going to say on it, because like I said, it's very hard to talk about, but just to chime in with all of the other rave reviews, incredible. And if anyone has read this and could leave suggestions as to other books that are similar, I mean, I don't even know what genre this is, it would be greatly appreciated, because I'd love to read something kind of like this again. Then I'm going to go on to my holiday read. So I read 2 books while I was in Mallorca. The first was Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I would describe this as dark academia meets X-Men. It's dark academia with a bit of a supernatural kind of element to it. I'll read a little bit of the back actually. So I'll just read a tiny bit, not all of it. Victor and Eli started out as college roommates, brilliant, arrogant, lonely boys who recognised the same ambition in each other, a shared interest in adrenaline, near-death experiences, and seemingly supernatural events reveals an intriguing possibility that under the right conditions, someone could develop extraordinary abilities. But when their thesis moves from academic to the experimental, things go horribly wrong. Ho 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 ho. I wouldn't say I loved it, but then I wouldn't say I didn't like it. It was very good for the circumstances. I was on holiday, I was relaxing and just wanted a book that would kind of grip me, and this was that. And I think it's good. It's a really easy read. I think if it sounds like your kind of jam, then definitely give it a try. And then the second was Kim Young, born 1982 by Cho Nam Yu. It is the story of Kim Young, born in 1982. It's a story of her experience growing up in South Korea as a woman and how the culture over there treats women. It's got a very dark, humorous edge to it, which I really liked. The writing's quite simplistic, but I think that's on purpose. That lends itself really well to the story that's being told. And it's frightening how applicable some of this still is today. As you can imagine, just the way in which women are just seen as the only value that women have really is just sort of having children. And if they don't have girls, like boys are seen as so much more valuable than girls. You get the gist. A great book. Then I read this quite a while ago actually. This is Eli Wiesel's Night. So this is the story of Eli Wiesel. It is a true story, and it is his account of when he was a teenager. Him and his family were rounded up by the Nazis and taken off to Auschwitz. As you can imagine, a tough story to read, very harrowing. Just awful. A very intimate account of what happened to him and his family. And while it is a tough read, it is, what I took away from it is not, I don't want to say it was heartwarming and enjoyable, but you're just like, wow, it's incredible how much the human spirit, or how much they can endure and still kind of have hope at the end of it all. A really important story, and I think this might actually be in school syllabuses now. I feel like I read that somewhere. I could be making that up, but I think it should be. Really, really moving, and it feels weird saying really, really good, but it is a good story to read. And then moving on to this one, I kind of have clouded visions of this book, maybe because it didn't stand out to me too much. It is The Devotion of Suspect X by Kirgo Higashino. A sort of crime thriller, very, very popular in Japan. It's part of a trilogy. I bought it as a set of 3, but I've only read this one so far. It's a story of, it's kind of like a murder mystery. I'll read the back actually, maybe that'd be helpful. Yusuko lives a quiet life, a good mother to her only child, but when her ex-husband appears at her door without warning one evening, her comfortable world is shattered. When Detective Kusanagi of the Tokyo Police tries to piece together the events of that night, he finds himself confronted by the most puzzling, mysterious circumstances he has ever investigated. Nothing quite makes sense. So as you can imagine, there's lots of twists. There's obviously a twist at the end. But it was good. It wasn't hugely gripping, but I would say it was good. And then I am still unsure how I feel about this book, Real Life by Brandon Taylor. The story itself I really liked, the story that was being told I was really interested in, and I thought it was really beautiful, but it was just the way in which it was told I really struggled with. I just feel like it could have been shorter. There were so many just heavy paragraphs of just description that kind of lost me. So much scientific chat about just stuff I literally was so clueless about. Yeah, it just lost me in places, and then it took me a while to kind of get back into it. But it is the story of Wallace, and it spans the course of a weekend. Wallace is a gay black male living in the Midwest, and it's just about some experiences that happen over the course of this weekend and how they kind of lead to him, I guess, confronting some issues. Trying to think how I can talk about this more without giving it away. I'm not very good at this, am I? So the story itself, like I said, was beautiful, but I'm just not sure. And then I read this in one sitting just after I finished Piranesi. It was a very rainy Sunday, and I thought, I really want to read a book which is going to completely grip me and I can just get through in an afternoon. The Last Thing to Burn by Will Dean. It's not a tough read, but it is essentially about a woman who is sex trafficked to the UK and then lives with her, I guess you'd say, captor, because literally she is stuck living with this person, like she can't leave or anything, and she gets pregnant, and it's all about how she just is determined, like once she has this baby, she's just determined to get away from this awful situation that she's been forced in. It is very, very suspenseful. I just kept going and going because I was like, I want to know what happens to her. I want to know if she gets away. I want to know, I want to know. And yeah, like if you literally just want a book that's going to completely just consume you in one day, then this is definitely that book. So yeah, that's my book update. I did say I was going to talk about kind of like general reading, but I've been talking now for about 10 minutes. Tips for reading, because it probably seems like I read loads, and I guess I do read more than the average person, but I would say that's because I don't really watch much TV, so my evenings are normally spent reading. If I do watch TV, I'll probably watch like one show and aim to finish watching TV about 9 o'clock, and then I'll go sit in bed and read for like another hour, an hour and a half. So that's when I get the main bulk of my reading in. At the weekends I do spend a lot of time reading. I'll kind of like wake up in the morning. If I'm having like a slow day, maybe like a slow Sunday, I'll wake up and do a couple of hours reading. Also, if I ever have to travel down to London, I'm always reading on the train. It's a 4-hour round trip, so 2 hours there, 2 hours back. So that's again if I don't have to do any work on the train, I'll read. So that's normally like another 2 to 3 hours of reading that I get done. But that's kind of like where the main bulk of my reading gets done. I don't really read during the day because I obviously just don't really have the luxury of being able to do that. And sometimes I read in the bath. But my tip would probably be to just always have a book with you. If you're someone who has to commute, like maybe a long commute, like carry a book with you. I know not everyone, some people get motion sickness and they find it quite difficult to read when they're on public transport, but I think if you do, you'd be surprised how much reading you can get done when you're travelling. And yeah, I think because I used to be someone who would sit and scroll on my phone a lot in the evening, and then I just sort of mindlessly watch TV. But having kind of quite a strict routine in the evening now, where I'm like, okay, if I'm going to watch TV, I'm only watching like one programme. I'm not going to sit and watch 3 programmes back to back. Don't get me wrong, I do have evenings like that where I just think, oh, do you know what, I'm going to have a full TV evening. But I'd say on average, my evening will look like dinner, wash, TV, read, then sleep. So yeah, that's how I kind of fit it in. Anyway, I'm going to go because this is going to be a long vlog this week, so the long vlog fans will be pleased. Got the wedding tomorrow, and then got some other bits and pieces that will make for an interesting vlog next week. So yeah, you'll see the wedding outfit in next week's vlog, even though you know what it is. It's the Cecily Barnson dress. And yeah, who knows what next week we'll have in store. But thank you so much for watching this week. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.